Joey John Maguire. I'm in the Oyster Rooms, my favourite local Wetherspoons pub. It's a Lloyd's bar. That's in Fulham Broadway, London, United Kingdom. I'm about to recite my latest poem, which, as per usual, as always, I wrote in the early hours of this morning. It's called, very sad poem, it's called In Search of Freedom. She had been forced to flee her war-torn village of Africa, the fundamentalists leaving her with little choice. She had dodged the bombs and bullets, suffered in silence the violent abuse of rape, as her dignity, along with her human rights, were systematically taken from her, whilst all the time praying, existing for her children, the loves of her life, the only things she possessed worth dying for. She had fled in desperation, with no route map or specific plan. The only food in her belly, her resolute will to survive. The roads she tread through Libya, a failed state, leaving a memorable lesson in terror. She had no luggage. Everything she possessed she carried in her heart, the heavy weight of her children, the driving force behind her last desperate bid for freedom. Cruel circumstance would see her cast adrift by the exploiters. Never having sighted sea before, she had no idea how quickly death would come, until that moment when the boat suddenly lilted, tipping all on board overboard, and only when the panic screams subsided and her world fell silent did she realize how thin and fragile her threads of hope had been. Destiny would see to it that for her the years of suffering would be over. In the vast expanse of the Mediterranean, she would tread water until all the hope in her belly was exhausted. She would realize there was no help coming over the horizon, and anyway, moments earlier, amidst the confusion, she had watched as her two precious little angels sank slowly to the depths of the abyss. How cold she was, how thirsty and tired. She was alone in our godless wilderness, yet there were no tears in her eyes. No point in kicking and splashing, waving futile, and even if she had the strength to scream, no one would hear her cries. Hope you're not all crying.